Hey guys, thanks for stopping by. I'm excited to show this kind of sneak peek behind the scenes. Sneak peek? It's not a sneak peek, the video's already out. All right, here we go. Hey everybody, nice to see you. Thanks for stopping by. I'm excited to show off the sneak peek. It's not a sneak peek. About like a month ago, my buddy hit me up. He was in a band called Restless Streets that I'd shot quite a few music videos with over the past few years. The band has kind of gone on a hiatus, and so now he's starting more of a solo project just called Logan. And with that, it's more of like a hip hop thing instead of a rock thing. And so we knew we wanted a fun video. Initially when he contacted me, he said, more than anything, I just want it to be a fun video. Like we just don't take ourselves too seriously, and let's just make something enjoyable and memorable and something that somebody will watch and just be like, oh, okay, that's just a fun video. We knew we didn't have a big budget or really a lot of time to pull it off. So we just started looking around for the resources that we might have available to us. Now the awesome thing was that Logan actually had a connection with a friend who was just building this huge, massive house. And behind it, this enormous pool area where it just had, it was this huge like S-shaped pool with the hot tubs and a slide and water fountains and like all sorts of crazy stuff. It looked enormous and it was perfect for what we wanted to do. Once we had the location, we knew we could use that for free, which was amazing. And then from there, we decided on a couple storyline elements, and really we just wanted it to be wacky. We were like, let's just use mannequins instead of using actual people in the video. So he's just interacting with a bunch of mannequin girls, and that's who his kind of entourage is for the video. And so then from there kind of migrated into, let's have him sort of have a daydream sequence where the girl, you know, he's kind of broken into this girl's house to film this video, and she comes out and is like, get out of my property. And then from there he has this daydream sequence where he imagines that the two of them are together. And then at the end, the illusion is broken and he's fleeing for his life off the property. So yeah, so that was the idea. And it really worked out well for us because we only had 4 hours to shoot this entire video. Now, typically when I'm shooting a video, I mean, it can be anywhere from like 15 hours to 24 hours. I mean, they are long, long days or multiple days of filming at a location. So we only had 4 hours. So knowing that kind of going into it was awesome. We had to be really efficient. We had to just kind of be really light with gear. We had to just kind of just go in and just grab shots as we could think of them, or, you know, we had a game plan going into it, but we knew we couldn't get every shot that we wanted. So we had to just establish really quickly what are the core shots that we need to get, what's the bare bones to tell the story, and then can we add in a few extra little fluff images and videos here and there to kind of like just expand the whole thing. So the location ended up being about 3.5 hours away from my house. So my buddy and I got into my Jeep early morning, drove out to the shoot location. So pretty much right away we started scouting everywhere to see where we wanted to get every shot and where we wanted to tell every story piece. And then from there we basically broke right into our gear, started setting up the camera, started setting up the drone. So once all that was set up, then we were basically ready to rock and roll. The whole ththing was shot on the new Sony a7 III, and it worked great for us. I shot the whole thing at 4K. There were a few sections that I shot in slow motion at 120 frames per second, and those were really fun, and they kind of helped sell some of the bigger moments of the video. But for the most part, everything was shot and exported at 4K, 23 frames a second. And we didn't have time to set up lights. I did bring some lights with me, but everything was outside, and I didn't really have strong enough lights to negate the sun, but I did have a bounce card, so we did use that in a few shots to kind of add some fill into Logan's face for some of the close-up shots, so that worked out really well. And mostly we really just had to go from shot to shot to shot very quickly. It was really cool. We ended up getting some drone shots. My buddy Jon, who came along, that was his Inspire that we used, and we were able to get some really neat shots from above where we just could hang the camera right above Logan as he was singing. And those little things like that really add a ton of production value to the final video. Just makes everything look bigger, a little more professional, a little more of a robust production. And it worked out really well. I actually did double duty where he was filming with the drone on top. I was actually getting shots with my Sony as well. So that way we could really make use of our time and really kind of crush through the shoot as quickly as we could. Funny thing is, while we were actually shooting the drone shots, someone called the police on us. So we're in the middle of filming, we had just set the camera down, and all of a sudden 2 police officers come walking over. The neighbors called because they could see the drone and they could see we were doing stuff with the mannequin going down the slide, and they were like, there's naked people like going down the slide and there's drones flying everywhere. They thought we were throwing some big rager party and we're just trying to get this shot. So it ended up being really, really funny, and the cops are really cool about it, but it's just something that happened, and it kind of took up a little bit of time, but it wasn't too bad, and it was just a fun story. So once the police left, then we set up for our shots shots where we had the girlfriend. It was actually Logan's girlfriend who was in the video. But from there, we actually had to film both sections at the same time. So we filmed the one that happens in the middle of the music video where she first says, oh sure, I'll be in your music video. And then we filmed the ending part where she says, no, get off my lawn and get out of here. We were already set up right there, so it made sense to just shoot all that at once, even though the next one comes at the end of the video. One downside to where we're shooting is that the waterfall and the slide, we're making quite a bit of noise for splashing in the background. So the raw audio is pretty rough and it was pretty tough to hear the delivery of the lines. But I was able to bring the audio into Audition and grab a noise sample out of the just the sound of just that crappy noise. And I was able to remove it pretty well. It's not exactly 10 out of 10 like I would like, but it really did save the footage and made the shot really usable. So we didn't have to try some sort of other funky technique to try to make it happen. It really did work. All in all, I think given the circumstances and the time that we had, I think it worked out great. So yeah, so we finished up the rest of our shots. I was actually filming some of my last shots while John was packing up the gear. So he had pretty much everything loaded up and I was just out there with my camera filming the last few shots, and it worked out perfect. We were able to get enough footage to fill this music video, and given the constraints that we had, I'm super stoked on it. I think it turned out great. It was a lot of fun. It's wacky, it's out of control and ridiculous, but I'm proud of it. I think we still pulled off what it was that we set out to do, which was to just make a fun music video. Once I was home, pulled all the footage into Premiere, and it was just a simple matter of lining everything up and just cutting together a fun story. There wasn't any special effects or anything fancy that happened there. It was just about telling a fun story, getting the flow right, and just making use of the best footage that we had. And honestly, other than just cleaning up the audio, there wasn't really anything that I had to fix in post. Did a few little post zoom ins and stuff to accentuate a shot, but there was nothing that required any sort of elaborate visual effects painting out or adding in later. It was all pretty straightforward. But yeah, there's a link to the full video down below. Check it out if you haven't seen it already. Pass it around if you think anybody would like it. These are fun, quick little projects that I'm super excited to start doing more of, to kind of showcase that you don't need to have months of pre-production. You don't have to have, you know, a week of shooting and weeks of editing. Sometimes you can make a really fun project and just boom, just snap it together and just kind of go with the flow and see what happens. Well guys, I appreciate you stopping by and checking out this behind the scenes video. There will be more coming. I've been shooting like crazy this summer and I've got a lot of behind the scenes to share with you and start talking about. So I really appreciate you stopping by. And yeah, if you like what you see, subscribe, and otherwise stay creative, stay happy. I will catch you later.